Hello, Tim Gavel here down at Raiders headquarters for Region Media. Alongside me is the Raiders coach Ricky Stuart. And Rick, you've just signed a new long-term contract up until 2029. That'll mean 16 seasons here at the Raiders. Was it a hard decision to make because they came to you and said, listen, interested?
No, it wasn't a hard decision because of obviously I love the club. I love what I'm doing at the moment in coaching, and I must say that the younger players that we've recruited, the younger players that are coming into our top 40 odd players, top 30 official NRL squad, they really have rejuvenated a lot of energy, not just in me but in a lot of the environment around the club. It's exciting, but I was very honoured and I was fortunate that Simon and Dennis wanted to sit down and have a chat to me about extending, and I sat down then and had a good think about it, and I thought, with a lot of the younger players we got, surrounded by some really talented experience, I was privileged in the fact that they asked me to.
Did it take you by surprise when Dennis and Simon came to you?
It did, Tim. I was very appreciative of the fact that they've supported the strategy and the process that we're looking at for the future. It's quite a common fact that it is difficult at times to attract the marquee players from other clubs, but we've taken another line of recruitment strategy on board, and that is to go out and look at buying the best talent that we can from an under 18, 19, 20-year-old age group. We've been successful so far in a number of our recruits that are within our squad now, who are playing first grade, who have played first grade, and some new recruits that are on the verge of signing here at the club.
Must be exciting to coach somebody like Ethan Strange, Ricky Stuart, Ko Weeks, Morgan Smithies, a little bit older, but it's got some good young players there, and you've got Matt Timoko and Sebastian Chris.
We've shown that bringing youth into our club, into our systems, we've shown that we can develop those boys into representative players. You look at the two centres you just mentioned there, and Matty and Seb Chris, they're now internationals. You've got Hudson Young, who's an Origin player. You go back with Josh Papali and those types of players who, Corey Horsburgh, who have been at the club since they were young boys, and they're now, they're State of Origin international players. So we know we've got the development program and our systems in the football department that can improve individuals. It's just a matter of keep building the squad, keep the experience around the younger boys. That's really important, Tim, keeping the experienced guys around the youth, because it's such a big jump from under 21 second grade into NRL. They can't handle it on their own. They need that type of experience around them.
You mentioned that the younger players. You've got three older players at the moment, and I guess you've got Jordan Rapana, Elliot Whitehead to start with, and Josh Papali'i. Firstly, with Elliot, is he going to be here, do you think, next year as a player?
That's ongoing. We've been talking to Elliot about what's best for his future as well. I do want to keep him around the club if it's not in a playing capacity, and that's as long as he wants to give up playing. A lot of it, even with Jordan Rapana, a lot of it has got to do with physically with their bodies, and also opportunities going forward in their careers. It's something that we talk to them and make sure that we're all on the same page, so we know exactly what's best for the individual.
And I'll come back to those two players, but you've got Josh Papali'i, who's contracted until the end of this year with an option for next. You'd obviously like to see him go around for one more season next year?
Yeah, he'll stay. We've already taken up that option, and Josh will be here for 2025. And the one good thing about our club is that we always look after the players that have looked after the jumper, and Josh Papali is one player who has looked after the jumper, which is why we've taken up the option for Josh going forward.
Just with Jordan, 34, 35, seems to be playing pretty well at the moment. He had a couple of years off, so he's a bit different than a lot of other rugby league players sort of have played
29,
non-stop.
29 if you ask Jordan. He feels 29. No, it is. He plays so physically. and he is such an important part of our team at the moment too. But just being able to handle the rigours, being able to handle the physicality every week at that age is it's a big task. But again, we sit down, we talk to Jordan, we talk to Elliot to make sure we're on the same page in regards to making sure that we make the right decision, whether they're at the club or they move on into what's the next part of their career.
Because I think Elliot at one stage said he didn't want to do another pre-season. I think it was.
Yeah, that tends to make the decision pretty quickly, doesn't it? But no, well, as I said, right, I'd like to keep Elliot, Jordan around the club. It's always an opportunity overseas too for those boys who might want to finish their careers overseas. But I think they're both pretty settled here in Canberra. They'd like to stay here, so we do want to make sure that we look after their welfare post-football.
Before you signed the new contract, did you think, well, what am I going to do if I'm not a footy coach? Did you ever have that thought in your mind?
No, not at all, because I was signed here until the end of 25. I don't look too far forward, Tim, to be honest, and you really can't in my job, which is why I'm so grateful the fact that they've given me the opportunity to bring these young boys through over the next 4 or 5 years. And if it wasn't for the youth, that are bringing that energy and excitement in, it might have been a different scenario. But I'm excited about the fact of having the chance to start the careers of a lot of these younger players.
It was almost like Sheensy, wasn't it, back in 1988-89 when yourself, Laurie, Bradley, Clyde, 3 young players from the local area?
Well, he had a massive impact and influence on a number of younger players from those 88 to 84, 85, 94, 95 era. He had a massive influence over a number of boys' careers and a positive impact too. And that's what I am very mindful of, and I'm very aware of the fact that it has to be a positive role model impact. It has to be a positive influence over these younger players, because this is their careers, and I want them to develop into the best possible football player they can for the Canberra Raiders, but also, importantly, for them themselves and their families. It's a big job. You've got responsibility of not just looking after their football, but them as people. You want them to be good guys, good blokes. But I find I've got a responsibility to those boys in making them the best they possibly can be.
Well, you're doing a good job, Rick. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
That's Ricky Stuart down here at Raiders headquarters. I'm Tim Gavel.